Jennifer Philo has been part of Sulphur Springs Work Camp for the 10 years of its history, and before those Sulphur Springs Work Camp students and youth can get started painting those houses, there has to be a fundraiser. It's coming up this weekend. It's called the Paint the Town 5 and 10K Run, starting from Buford Park.
We're excited about having our third annual Paint the Town Run. We'll start out in Buford Park Saturday morning, and we have a 5K and a 10K. And it's supposed to be gorgeous. Thank goodness.
If you want to do the 10K, but you only can do the 5, do you enter that way?
Yes.
Okay.
You can pick. We're not going to make you run 10K.
Can you run 1K?
You can walk. You can walk. You can skip if you want to, but we would just love to have people come out and participate.
Okay. Why do we need to find out more about Sulphur Springs Work Camp?
Sulphur Springs Work Camp is a wonderful ministry to this community. This is our 10th year, so it started in 2007. Since 2007, we have painted 162 houses in our community with Kid Power. Some amazing youth coming together. And this is our one fundraiser to help us raise the funds. It costs about $30,000 a year to put on Sulphur Springs Work Camp. Okay. And part of that money comes from the kids' registration for camp, but then there are other things like providing food and paying for transportation or paying for paint, paint and supplies, and it all adds up. And it's a blessing to our community. It's a blessing to the kids that come out and work. And so we're really excited about the 10th anniversary. Excuse me. And like I said, we're excited. This is our kickoff. I mean, we've been meeting for a few months, but this is the first thing that really kind of says it's coming, and it's coming fast. So it's going to be a beautiful morning on Saturday at Buford Park, and we're going to have a blast.
Well, the 5K and 10K run, and so you've got some people within your midst that do like running, and they're used to that, and so they can kind of maybe set the pace for, and then anyone else can be part of it.
Absolutely. It is a chipped run, so you'll have an official time. For people that are training for races, that's really important. For some people, they just want to come out and run and get their time and see how they're progressing in their training. But it's not limited to runners. If you want to come out and you've got a kid in a stroller and you want to walk the 5K, we encourage you to do that. If you're just training and you can't run the 5K yet, but you can walk it, however you want to do it. We just want people to participate, come out and have fun, and help us raise money for Work Camp.
Again, the route is Buford Park.
We start out in Buford Park.
Is it Kids Kingdom? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're in that little center section. They'll go around the little circle and then turn onto Houston Street and then head north on Davis and then cut across to Church Street. I can't remember what the crossover street is. They'll come back down Church Street, turn back on Houston, back to the park. That's the 5K. The 10K will do the same route, except when they go down Davis, they'll continue further south. And I think they actually go all the way down to Lee Street.
Okay.
And then they'll cut over to League and come back to Buford that way.
Okay.
And we have maps on our Facebook page. If anybody wants to check that out, they can go on there and look at it.
Let's talk about that Facebook page. Mm-hmm. You have gotten lots of awareness about Work Camp through that.
Yes, we have. I tell people, when you're in the midst of Work Camp and you're on the leadership team and you're troubleshooting, there are days that you're just thinking, why are we doing this? I don't know that it matters. The kids are slapping paint on houses. But last year, Facebook saved it for me because I just, you just get bogged in the details sometimes. And to see people posting on Facebook, hey, I saw kids painting houses. This is amazing. And just seeing people really encouraged by the youth of our community and seeing that they were making a positive change in our community was exciting. And it helped us realize people do see it and people do notice it. And it is a good thing that we are doing.
It is a good thing.
It is a good thing. And it's really, Facebook is probably one of the best ways to learn about Work Camp or to communicate with us because it's easy to find us on there. We have a Sulphur Springs Work Camp page. We also have a Paint the Town 5K and 10K page. Okay. So you can get on Facebook and check that out. We also have an email address that's checked. It's ss.workcamp@gmail.com. So if you have questions about Work Camp, if you want to find out about how to participate in Work Camp or how you can support Work Camp, camp, please email us and we will get back with you as soon as we can.
I know of a business here in town which has dedicated a portion of their spending for this year to give that to the work camp.
We have a ton of sponsors that we could not do this without, and I've got a list here I'd love to share with the listeners, because when you go to these places, tell them you appreciate it, because they are making a difference in our community. Some of these businesses are Everything Unique, Alliance Bank, Galleon Insurance, the Johnson Family Foundation, Net Data, Guarantee Bond Bank, Legacy Ag Credit, Clayton Homes, Alliance Bank Financial Services, Clay Johnson Law Firm, the Law Office of Chad Cable, Sulphur Springs Center for Dance, Coffee Off the Square, the Pink Stand, KSST, and City National Bank, and Itsy Bitsy Bakery. I don't want to leave them out because the best thing they give us is cookies at the end of the run on Saturday. I mean, it's worth signing up to come get the cookies.
Sweet.
Yes.
Well, let me ask how just a plain old person can donate as well.
We've also set up a way to donate. It's through a Square Market. There's a link on our Sulphur Springs Work Camp page, and you can click on that link and it will take you there. We had to do set donations because of some limitations with that service, but it's anywhere from $25 up to $500 if you want to do that. There's lots of different options there, and if you want to do $10, let us know and we will figure out a way to get that done so you can make that donation as well.
Okay. Well, if a person came, just for an example, came out to the Buford Park this coming Saturday morning, maybe wrote a check.
Absolutely.
Hand that off to someone.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Like I said, we're trying to get everywhere and get the word out. I work at First Methodist Church, so if you can't remember the Facebook page or the email for work camp, call First United Methodist Church, ask for Jennifer, and I'll be happy to help any way I can.
I think that number is 885-2185.
Yes.
We used to always know our numbers by the last four digits.
Well, we're really close to the high school's phone number and Alliance Bank, so I know all three of those numbers really well.
Okay. Well, I know that you have worked at First United Methodist Church for a long time.
I've been there almost 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and this is kind of, work camp has kind of morphed its way into my job description there, and First United Methodist is just gracious to let me take the time, use some of my time at work to help work camp, and then also to take the time off during work camp to be out there and supporting that.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that it brings a measure of joy to your life, being involved with Sulphur Springs Work Camp.
It does. It's fantastic. I've painted 3 houses. I've scraped houses. They don't let me scrape anymore because my OCD, I want to get every little, I can't scrape, but I can paint. So I've painted 3 houses. That's where I started out. And then I moved into a position where I was the volunteer coordinator, and I still do that. And then I've moved on to the leadership board. And so it's one of those things that's tapped something within me. And, I'm maybe not the most magnetic personality, but I have administrative talents that I can donate to it, and I work behind the scenes, and so it's brought a lot of joy to me. And my kids have participated in it. My husband comes out and supports us in it, and so it's been a family affair for us.
Well, I know that there are different people in the structure of Sulphur Springs Work Camp that make selections on houses that will be painted.
Yes.
So, but just in general, the kids actually do the labor?
Yes, they do everything. We do have some people that do pre-work. So if we go to a house and there's some boards, if there's a few boards that need to be replaced, or if there's a little bit of work that needs to be done before those kids show up, they'll come out prior to the work camp and get that done. And then when the kids get there, they hit the ground running. They got scrapers in hand, and they're getting the scraping done. And then they basically have 3 days to get it done. 3 days to paint a house. So
wow.
Yeah, and they get done. It's incredible. There are days you're looking at your house going, there's no way. And Wednesday, they pull it out and get it done.
Is this all done within a week?
They show up. Kids get here Sunday afternoon for check-in, and then we have a big worship service that night. And then Monday morning, they are heading to their sites, and they work from 9 to 3:30 or 4. They come back, get them where they can go shower and clean up, come back, have dinner, have worship, go back and sleep, and get up and do it again the next 2 days. And then they go home Wednesday night.
Really?
Yes.
So it's 3 days
It's
for
quick.
them.
It's quick.
Okay.
Yeah. And one year we lost an entire day to rain. So you want to talk about panic. There was a little panic on that, but we got every house done in 2 days.
Well,
So-
if you know, how did this concept come to Sulphur Springs?
You know, it started out at Shannon Oaks, which has been our home base. Excuse me. It's been our home base for the past 9 years. I think Brian Cromer was the youth director at that time and kind of got this thing going. And then it's just built and built. I know First United Methodist Church has been involved with it since the beginning. I think Davis Street has. St. James Catholic Church has been involved in it. Those are kind of the 4 core ones that I know of, but we've had more churches join every year, and it's grown and grown. I think the first year they did 9 houses, I think, and now we're averaging 20 houses a work camp. Yeah, so.
How many kids come to this?
I inflated my numbers last time. I think it's closer to 250, and then you have the adults that help with the cruise. So it's a big undertaking, and we house them, and we transport them, and we feed them, and feed them 3 good meals a day. Linda Rasco's got that food thing down, but it's a well-oiled machine at this point. Now this year we are moving out to the Civic Center, 10th anniversary. We decided we were going to try something different, just to shake it up a little bit for the kids and try something a little bigger. So we're moving out there this year, and we're going to see how that goes.
As far as your headquarters.
Yeah, that's where we will headquarter this year.
Okay.
So, but we're excited. We're excited. 10's going to be a great year.
Well, please help them get the word out, starting about Sulphur Springs Work Camp and the wonderful things that brings to our town, but starting out with this Saturday's event.
Absolutely. We'll be at Buford Park. I think packet pickup starts at 7:30. We'll be out there earlier setting up. So run starts at 8 o'clock. So, put on those jogging shoes and come out and enjoy some beautiful weather and a lot of fun. Oh, one thing I do need to point out, this year we're having a paint run for those that want to have paint or color thrown at them, but there's also a lane for the runners that don't want that. We will not throw paint at you if you do not want paint thrown at you. We just want to make sure everybody, there were some that really loved the color aspect and some that were like, no, I don't want that thrown at me. So we're trying to accommodate everybody this year, and so I think it's going to be a lot of fun.